gold economy. It's a big part of any action RPG, but it's definitely no different here in Path of Exile 2. A lot of people are running into gold issues when trying to respec early in the game. And in this video today, I want to give you some of my quick tips on how to make some gold. Maybe you saw my video on the weapon sets that I did. It's linked in the upper right-hand corner. But at the end of that video, I had 0 gold. And at the end of just doing these tips over about an hour or two, whatever it was, I think it was like 30 minutes to be totally honest with you. I have a skewed sense of time nowadays. I had made an easy 10 to 15K, and it's a great way to just kind of get yourself up early when it comes to gold. Now, of course, gold's going to start coming in droves as you get further into the game, but these tips will still apply because it will scale with the difficulty and your level. Now, in my typical fashion of upfronting the knowledge in my video, really the tips here are sell jewelry. Jewelry is going to be a big thing if you pick it up, any kind of ring, as long as you already have a ring of that ilk. And what I mean is you want to make sure you have a ring of every single type of resistance so you can swap those around to patch up any holes in your resistance. So if you don't have if you're not going to replace any of the rings that you've got, what you should do is make them magic and add a modification to them, because those resources are very easy to come by to do those with orbs. Then sell them. You'll get a good amount of money, and I'll show you the difference between a standard and a magic one in the video after this. Well, a little bit further in the video. Also, sell weapons. Any and all weapons. Mainly actually bows, staves, two-handed weapons like maces, and crossbows. In addition to that, sell body armor. White or blue, doesn't matter. Any one of those is going to get you a ton of money. And basically, really, what it comes down to is having the discipline to constantly go back to town to sell. That's going to be very frustrating, but honestly, if you go through an entire map, picking up every single white weapon, body armor, or blue corresponding version thus of, and sell it every time you fill your inventory up, you will end that map with double your income, whatever it was. I don't know. Saying double is kind of ridiculous, right? But I mean, like if you've got like, you'll make a good, easy, like 2,000-3,000 gold per map if you do that. Also, too, the last thing I want to go into is how to trade using the actual website. That's going to be more of the actual economy of the game, which is orbs and less actual gold. So that'll be linked at the end of the video. So go ahead and use the description, or I'm sorry, the chapters about the description and the timeline, and simply jump ahead to any part of this that interests you the most. That way you can learn whatever big tips that you need. Also, before you head out, if that's all you wanted to know, please don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe, as each one of those things does help me out in a huge way. And lastly, you can find a link to my Twitch linked in both the description and the pinned comment. Head on by, come on over. We stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. We do early access key giveaways, and there's tons of drops going on for the first half of December, and then even more for the latter half of December. So swing on by that. Again, linked below. Let's get started here on how to make money in Path of Exile 2. So to start us off, let's talk about understanding the relative value of the items that you have in your inventory. I'm doing all this in Act 1 to act as little of a spoiler as possible. I want you to experience the transition from Act to Act in whatever way you will. So first off, what I want you to do is take a look at any item. And I picked up just tons of junk to talk about things for this video. So you can see here this scepter. If I hold down Alt, I get more information. I get the item level of the item, but I want you to see one specific thing. I'm going to pin this and move it over here. You can see right here it says suffix, and then right here it says T4, suffix modifier of the starfish, and then it is a life suffix. And I can tell you that this is a T4. I think tier 6 might be the top one. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far into the game where that I know that thing. But regardless, the higher the tier of this suffix, the more value of this item. Now, having multiple mods increases the value of the item. Having a higher item level increases the value of the item. But there's an even further modification that you should know about. Some suffixes are pretty sexy. Like this one right here, the Thug's Cloaked Mail of Sealing. You notice that this prefix or suffix, affixes as they're typically called, is called prefix modifier thugs, life and defense. So double prefixes or affixes, let's just say affixes, because I'm going to keep saying that the whole entire goddamn video. Double affixes will sell for a substantial increase over just a single affix modifier. So that gives you a lot of information to know right out the gate when it comes to understanding the value of items. Now, of course, magic items sell for more than non-magic items, right? So this Ashen Staff sells for less than this Cobalt Gelid Staff. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I don't care. But you can see this only has one mod on it. Let's go ahead and do some fun experimentation. I'm going to go ahead and go to the stash. I'm going to go to my currency. I'm going to grab I'll grab all stack of these. And we're going to come over here to Una. So if I compare the relative value of this white ashen staff, non-magic, to this one with just one modification, you can see it's 150 versus 96. So I'm going to get a 54 gold bump in the value here. So I'm going to go ahead and augment a magic item with a new random modifier. I don't recommend you do this for everything, but I'm trying to show you how value increases over time. So I'm going to go, wrong one, sorry. This one, to upgrades a normal item to a magic item. So this 96 is now valued at 156. I don't recommend this for every single item. I recommend that, if you're really hurting for cash and you have tons of these, go for it. Because remember, getting augmentation and transmutation is extremely easy, especially transmutation, which just requires you to disenchant junk. So disenchant to your heart's content. If you're low on money, then just sell everything you've got and you'll get tons of money. You could stop the video right then and there and you'd know everything that the rest of this video is. I'm just going to show you examples of it to support my claims. So 156 to 150, I could even go further here and add a modifier. Now it's 182. A modifier, now it's 196. Again, those modifiers are going to depend upon what's the tier and did I get a double modifier. They both rolled a tier 2 or a tier, yeah, both rolled a tier 1 modifier, so I didn't really get too much of a bump. So you can see that those two items are worth a lot. And even moreover, you can see that just a simple white staff was worth quite a bit at 96. Now, that's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but in the very early portions of it, that's one passive skill refund just about, depending upon the level. At all scales, of course. So we'll sell some of this. We'll sell this guy right here. Is this a... Yeah, this is another example, too, of a double affix here. Versus worth 112. Those aren't really high value items. Like I said, though, body armor is. So here's an example of body armor that has two affixes, a tier 2 and a tier 1. Here's an example, though, of a tier 2 and tier 1 affix, but one is a double affix. And it's not that much of a substantial increase in item level. Looking at item level 27 versus item level 22. You can see that this increases the gold by 100 points for that double affix. Just to give you an idea, that body armor is worth quite a bit of money if you have good rolls on them or just in general. Now, one-handed weapons aren't worth a whole ton. Again, I picked up a ton of stuff to show and make my point. So I'm going to sell that. I'm going to go back to my stash here. I'm going to show you too the value of two-handed weapons. Just simple bow. Let's go ahead and take a look here at that. So that's just 44. Not a whole ton, right? But you can get magic bows, you can get different bows all over the place, and you'll notice that this will all go up and increase as you kind of play around with them. I get it all? Okay, good. So we'll go back here. This is 44, this is 21, this is 116. So playing with staffs, bows can be kind of they can be kind of a gamble, but I just pick them up, I bring them back, and I sell them. And we started this video at like, I think, a 10 or 11. Okay, and by just selling all this crap, literally just crap, hold on here, I'll talk about that in a second. We have made quite a bit of money selling all that and all that. We'll sell this as well. We're now up 2.5K, whatever it was. I think I started at 11, and I've got just some more crap here to sell. And oh, man, this is part of the next part of the video. I can't talk about that yet. We'll be able to identify that. And here's another trick, a little quick trick. Hold down Control, left click on the hooded one. It'll automatically identify anything in your inventory, and holding on Control and left clicking on any other vendor will usually bring up either their sell screen or like their disenchant screen for the case of Una. So we'll go ahead and sell these gloves here too. And we're up to 13.3K just with selling crap. So holding on to crap, selling it is the fastest way to make money in the game right now, at least. I say right now at least, but I mean maybe at this early portion. So the other thing I want to talk about is jewelry. Let's come over here to our stash and let's go over here and let's take a look at some jewelry. I'm going to just bring these into my inventory. We'll go back to Una. And let me show you the value of just a simple ring, 148 with just one simple mod. An unmodified one is still valued at 110. But with two mods on it, 191. These are pretty low item level rings too. This is 17. This is 20. Well, that's pretty high. That's one that was decently high level too, for compared to what I'm at right now. Okay, so maybe I lied about the item level thing. My point remains though is that These have very good resale value. So hold on to them, sell them if you can. Like I said, though, keep in mind that you want to make sure you have rotating elements for your rings to match any bosses that you're struggling with, because jewelry is just a great thing that you can sell and get rid of quickly in the early portions of the game. Now, you can, of course, hold on to it and craft with it and go through that whole process, but that's a tale for another video. So outside of jewelry, outside of all the things we talked about, there's another thing you need to keep an eye out when it comes to not necessarily money, but the economy. And that is superior and socketed items. This is a superior item. This one is also, this is a socketed. This is another socketed. Here is a socketed as well. You can sometimes have superior and socketed. What you want to do is you always want to make sure you're salvaging this, because it's going to give you these things. Your armor scrap, which improves the quality of an armor piece, and your artificer shards, which will then become an artificer's orb, which allows you to add a rune socket to a martial weapon or armor. Remember, body armor can have 2, and then weapons can have 1. I think two-handed weapons can have 2 as well, though. Why that's important is you can use these as a currency to sell on the market if you so wish, but really the best thing is that you can improve the quality of your existing items. So while this video is about economy and making sure you make more money, this is also about making sure you actually have the means to accomplish the content you want to do. And using armor or scrap to improve the quality of, well, in this case, armor, I'll just go ahead and use one. See, it jumps it up by 3%. And quality has a different set of bonuses depending on if it's a martial weapon, an armor piece, flasks, charms, what skill gems, whatever it is. Quality is a big part of this game. If you did not know about it, you can actually increase the quality of your skill gems to make them more effective. But that is, again, a tale for another video. So I wanted to go over that portion. Let's now talk about trading in the game. So this is a part of economy. It's important. It's not going to be related to making you money necessarily, but it's a great way to get orbs. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you this website. It's pathofexile2.com/trade2, whatever the hell the actual path is. I'll link it below in the description. You can go to the main site and you can go ahead and try to access it through there. I don't actually know where it was shown. There, trade right there. Haha, trade button. Press the trade button. You go ahead and you can search for specific affixes, for specific bonuses. You know, a stat filter here. Let's just type in spirit. A lot of people are looking for spirit right now for a lot of their minion builds. We press search and it shows us every single item that people have posted in the game, how much it's worth. So in this case, an orb of augmentation, which is pretty cheap, right? And you just go ahead and press the button and you can go ahead and, sorry, I pressed the wrong button there. You can go ahead and just directly message them in the game and get an idea, oh, oops, what did I do? Press the wrong button. Where's the wrong button? Where's the right button? Spirit, there we go. You can press the button and you can whisper them and buy this item. Conversely though, you can do the exact same, and you can see all the information we talked about with the affixes and suffixes. You can see it's all right here, all the rolls, all the distance, like, okay, this has got 30 to 34 life. You can see that the interval right there is 30 to 39. If you're watching on a phone, that's probably super small here. So I'll enhance. So you can see again, all that information is just right here for you. And you can do this if you so wish. Now, how does this translate to the game? Let me click back over here. You'll see that you've got your stash tabs, right? Well, you can right click a stash tab and you can press public. And then you can drop down from this menu, each item individually priced. And then when you place an item in here, so for example, this is a piece of mail that has strength and dexterity. This is good for, of course, your mercenaries. But maybe you're a mercenary build that's trying to use the turrets, little ballistas and stuff like that. Well, you're going to need spirit to do so. So if I go ahead and put the cloaked mail in here, I can offer it up for an exalted orb, which is a great item, right? Our exalted orbs here. Well, I don't think I have any right now. I don't. Exalted orb is the one that pushes something to a unique, right? Yes, hopefully so. And then the regal orb is what pushes something from a magic item to a rare item. And here's another really good one. So examples of ones that are really good to find and sell on here are +1 level to all minions and +1 or +2 spirit. And you can find those easily by going to your any available merchant and just typing in spirit. Okay, well, there's items here that increase spirit. Of course, these are scepters. They're always going to increase spirit. But if I type in minion, okay, well, this one is going to, anyone want to buy this? This is going to summon its level 5 skeletal warrior minion on it. So any items in the game, you can just use these little handy search bar at the bottom to scrub through what you've got. Okay, here, +1 level to all minion skills. Bingo, bango, bongo, stuff like that. Again, spirit. Okay, this one's going to add, does it say spirit? I don't see spirit on here. Maybe it is and I'm just dumb, but either way, maybe it's raised shield. It's late at night and now I cannot think properly. But either way, you use this search filter to find any of the items that you would want, and they're going to be pretty expensive. So you're basically paying gold to get an exalted orb. And if it's 2,500 and this becomes an exalted orb, someone buys it from me, that's a great exchange, because then I can use that exalted orb to convert items into unique items or into rare items if I use regal orbs, whatever the situation is. So this is a way to tap into a portion of the economy that is kind of adjacent to the game, right? It's not directly inside of its UI, it's outside of it but connected. And you just simply put them into here, you right click on them, and you press exact price in this drop down menu. Let's just say, you know, I'm gonna put it in regal orb. I don't know. I don't think this is actually a good item. 1, and then I press OK. So then I can see here that it says, okay, this is on sale for a regal orb, soul core varnished crossbow. Let's swatch back over to this and remove our filters. We'll type in soul varnished. Search. Well, right? That's how it was spelled. Oh, soul core. Whoops. What a great instructional video I'm making for you guys. How awesome is it? What a great YouTuber I am. 5 years in the hole in this shit. I still suck. Especially 7. That's even worse, right? You can see it takes some time for this to actually populate with your listing. Might take a minute or two, but when this does pop up, it will appear here and you can say, hey, oh, my listing's already here. Someone can go ahead and buy it from me. Nope. Well, it'll appear here. I promise. It's worked for me already. We can actually go ahead and take a look at this one. Morbid Veil Cloaked Mail. Which you'd be surprised. There's a lot of these. Morbid Veil Cloaked Mail. And there it is. There's mine listed for you. So this is a great way to tap into a bit of the economy that is a little bit different than the gold, but is a great way to get items if you have, or at least a great way to upgrade your existing items if you have things that are in demand. Again, Spirit, Minion, those are in demand right now. Try to find a lot of the big meta builds, those things that the build's focusing on. Let's say it's just fire. Okay, we'll look for fire damage on a physical weapon that's used in that build. Those things are then in demand, and you can quickly put them up here and make some quick money. But hopefully this helps you out in trying to crack the code of more gold, better economy in Path of Exile 2. I'm no expert in this. I'm someone who's been taught by a lot of other people that this is what you do. And this is carryover stuff from Path of Exile 1, is carryover stuff from a lot of my knowledge of just playing stuff like Diablo 2 and 3 and 4 and Last Epoch and every other ARPG under the sun. So if you have other suggestions on how to make good gold in this game, let it be known in the comment section below. Like I said, this is going to scale with your level. As you're a higher level, it's going to make you more money, right? Because you're going to sell higher item level things, better affixes. And also when you're a higher level, gold's not as scarce of a situation as it always is in ARPG. So if you're struggling with respeccing, hopefully this helps you out in getting the gold you need in Path of Exile 2. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Have a good one and take care.